Thomas Vincent Girardi, a once celebrated attorney whose legal triumphs inspired Hollywood films and whose personal life captivated reality television audiences, was sentenced on June 3, 2025 to 7 years and 3 months in federal prison in Los Angeles for orchestrating a fraud scheme that defrauded clients of over $15 million. At 86 years old, Girardi's dramatic fall from grace marks one of the most significant scandals in recent American legal history. His conviction for running a Ponzi scheme through his law firm, Girardi Keese, has shattered his reputation as a champion for the underdog, exposed systemic failures in legal oversight, and entangled his ex-wife Erika Jayne in a web of legal and public scrutiny. This comprehensive account, drawn from court documents, recent news reports, and public discussions on platforms like X, explores Girardi's rise to prominence, the intricate details of his fraudulent activities, the courtroom proceedings, the impact on his victims, and the broader implications for the legal profession and popular culture. Girardi's story begins in Denver, Colorado, where he was born on June 3, 1939, into a middle-class family. Raised in a modest environment, he showed early academic promise, graduating from Loyola High School in Los Angeles in 1957. He pursued higher education at Loyola Marymount University, earning a bachelor's degree in 1961, followed by a Juris Doctor from Loyola Law School in 1964 and a Master of Laws from New York University in 1965. These credentials provided a strong foundation for a career that would see him rise to the pinnacle of the legal profession. In 1965, Girardi co-founded Girardi Keese with Robert Keese in Los Angeles, a firm that would become synonymous with high-stakes plaintiff litigation. His early years as an attorney were marked by ambition and a knack for navigating complex cases, setting the stage for a career that would reshape California's legal landscape. Girardi's breakthrough came in 1970 when he achieved a historic milestone, securing the first $1 million verdict in a California medical malpractice case. This victory not only established him as a trailblazer but also demonstrated the potential for substantial plaintiff awards in a state known for its stringent legal standards. The win catapulted Girardi Keese into the spotlight, attracting clients who sought justice against powerful entities. Over the decades, the firm took on cases against major corporations, including Boeing, Merck, Lockheed Martin, and Hollywood studios, securing billions in settlements for clients harmed by corporate negligence or misconduct. Girardi's ability to negotiate favorable outcomes and his charismatic courtroom presence earned him a reputation as a formidable advocate for the underdog. One of Girardi's most iconic cases came in 1996 when he represented 650 residents of Hinckley, California in a lawsuit against Pacific Gas and Electric, PG&E. The case centered on groundwater contamination caused by hexavalent chromium, a toxic chemical linked to serious health issues. Girardi's legal strategy, in collaboration with paralegal Erin Brockovich, led to a landmark $460 million settlement, one of the largest direct-action lawsuits in U.S. history at the time. The case inspired the 2000 film Erin Brockovich, starring Julia Roberts, with Girardi serving as a consultant. The movie portrayed him as a principled attorney fighting for justice, cementing his public image as a defender of the powerless. Beyond Hinckley, Girardi handled other high-profile cases, including lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies for defective drugs and manufacturers for faulty products, further solidifying his status as a legal titan. Girardi's professional achievements were matched by a string of accolades. In 2003, he was inducted into the California Trial Lawyers Hall of Fame, recognizing his contributions to plaintiff advocacy. In 2018, the International Association of Top Professionals named him Attorney of the Decade, a testament to his enduring influence. He also made history as the first trial attorney appointed to California's Judicial Council, the body responsible for setting policies for the state's courts. His role on the council gave him significant influence over the legal system, and his political connections, bolstered by substantial donations to Democratic campaigns, further enhanced his stature. Girardi's network included judges, politicians, and legal luminaries, making him a powerful figure in both legal and political circles. Beyond the courtroom, Girardi's personal life drew significant attention. He married 3 times. First to Karen Weitzel from 1964 to 1983, with whom he had a daughter. Then to Kathy Reisner from 1993 to 1998, and finally to Erika Jayne, a singer and actress, in 1999. His marriage to Jayne, who was 32 years his junior, thrust him into the world of reality television when she joined the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills in 2015. The couple's opulent lifestyle, featuring a historic 1920s mansion in Pasadena, private jets, luxury cars, and designer wardrobes, was a recurring theme on the show. Girardi appeared in several episodes, often portrayed as a supportive husband and legal luminary who funded Jayne's music career and public persona. Their marriage, however, ended in November 2020 when Jayne filed for divorce, a decision that coincided with the emergence of Girardi's legal troubles and fueled speculation about its timing. The unraveling of Girardi's empire began in 2020 when a series of lawsuits and client complaints exposed systemic fraud at Girardi and Keese. Federal prosecutors later revealed that from 2010 to 2020, Girardi operated his firm as a Ponzi scheme, misappropriating over $15 million in client settlement funds to sustain an extravagant lifestyle. The victims included individuals who had suffered catastrophic injuries or lost loved ones in accidents, such as a 2010 gas pipeline explosion in San Bruno, California, that killed 8 people, and a boating accident that claimed multiple lives. Girardi diverted these funds to finance personal expenses, including $25 million transferred to EJ Global, Jayne's entertainment company, which supported her music videos, performances, and appearances on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Additional expenditures included jewelry, luxury cars, private jet travel, and memberships at elite country clubs like the Jonathan Club in Los Angeles. The mechanics of Girardi's scheme were meticulously documented during his trial. He would settle cases on behalf of clients, often securing multi-million-dollar awards, but instead of dispersing the funds, he deposited them into firm accounts he controlled. To maintain the illusion of solvency, he used new settlement money to pay off earlier clients or cover personal expenses, a classic Ponzi scheme tactic. When clients inquired about their funds, Girardi provided false excuses, claiming delays due to tax obligations, court approvals, or other fabricated issues. In some cases, he issued partial payments to keep clients at bay, while in others, he withheld funds entirely. For example, a burn victim owed $11 million from a settlement never received his money, and a widow entitled to $500,000 for her husband's death was left empty-handed. These betrayals devastated clients who relied on the funds for medical care, living expenses, or to rebuild their lives after tragedy. The fraud came to light in late 2020 when clients, frustrated by non-payment, filed lawsuits against Girardi and Keese. One pivotal case involved Joseph Rui Gomez, a victim of the San Bruno explosion, who was owed millions but received only a fraction of his settlement. His lawsuit, filed in December 2020, triggered a cascade of legal actions that forced Girardi and Keese into bankruptcy. The firm faced over $500 million in claims from creditors and former clients, revealing the extent of its financial mismanagement. The California State Bar, which had received complaints about Girardi for years, finally acted, disbarring him in 2022 for misappropriating client funds. Federal authorities launched a criminal investigation, culminating in Girardi's indictment on wire fraud charges. In August 2024, Girardi faced a 13-day trial in Los Angeles federal court, where a jury convicted him of 4 counts of wire fraud. Prosecutors presented a wealth of evidence, including audio recordings of Girardi lying to clients about their settlements. In one recording, he told a client that funds were delayed due to a court order, a claim prosecutors proved false. Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley described Girardi as a thief and liar who exploited his reputation as a champion of justice to deceive vulnerable clients. Victims testified about the profound impact of Girardi's actions, with some describing the loss of settlement funds as a second victimization. A mother who lost her son in an accident spoke of her struggle to pay medical bills, while another client detailed how Girardi's delays left him unable to afford care for severe injuries. The emotional weight of these testimonies underscored the human cost of Girardi's greed. On June 3, 2025, U.S. District Judge Josephine L. Staton sentenced Girardi to 87 months in prison, ordering him to pay a $35,000 fine and $2,310,247 in restitution to victims. He must surrender to federal authorities by July 17, 2025, following a medical evaluation at a federal prison in North Carolina. The sentencing hearing was a pivotal moment, with victims confronting Girardi in court, some tearfully recounting their losses. Judge Staton emphasized the need for deterrence in white-collar crime, stating that Girardi's actions struck at the heart of the legal profession's integrity. She acknowledged his contributions as an attorney, but stressed that his betrayal of trust warranted significant punishment. Girardi's health was a central issue throughout the proceedings. Diagnosed with late-onset Alzheimer's and dementia in 2021, he has been under the conservatorship of his brother, Robert Girardi, since March 2021. His legal team argued that his cognitive decline, evidenced by severe memory loss, disorientation, and reliance on caregivers for basic tasks like bathing and dressing, rendered him unfit for prison. A court-appointed neuropsychologist testified that Girardi could not recall basic details, such as the names of his children or the charges against him, and struggled to follow courtroom discussions. In May 2025, he was hospitalized for liver dysfunction, raising further concerns about his ability to serve a sentence. His attorneys requested placement in a medical facility, citing his need for round-the-clock care and his inability to manage daily activities. However, Judge Staton rejected these arguments, ruling that Girardi retained enough awareness to understand the consequences of his actions. She pointed to a hearing where Girardi acknowledged his severe memory loss, suggesting he was not entirely incapacitated. The court ordered a medical evaluation to determine a suitable prison facility, balancing his health needs with the need for accountability. The decision sparked debate, with some arguing that incarcerating an elderly, ailing man was inhumane, while others insisted that justice for his victims took precedence. Posts on X reflect this divide, with users debating whether Girardi's dementia should mitigate his punishment or if his crimes demanded full accountability. The fallout from Girardi's actions extends far beyond his conviction. Girardi Keese, once a powerhouse in plaintiff litigation, is now defunct, with its bankruptcy proceedings exposing a financial quagmire. Creditors and former clients have filed claims exceeding $500 million, and the bankruptcy trustee continues to investigate the firm's dealings. Christopher Kamen, the firm's former chief financial officer, was sentenced to 10 years in prison in April 2025 for his role in the fraud, having helped Girardi divert client funds into personal accounts. Another attorney, Robert Finnerty, faces disciplinary action from the California State Bar for negotiating a $53 million settlement with PG&E without client consent, further tarnishing the firm's legacy. The bar itself has faced criticism for its slow response to complaints against Girardi, with some alleging that his political connections and donations to judicial campaigns delayed accountability. Erika Jayne, Girardi's ex-wife, remains a lightning rod in the scandal. Her November 2020 divorce filing, which has yet to be finalized due to Girardi's health and legal issues, sparked allegations that it was a strategic move to protect assets from creditors. A 2022 court ruling found no evidence that Jayne knowingly participated in the fraud, but she faces a civil lawsuit from the bankruptcy trustee seeking to recover over $24 million in assets allegedly funded by misappropriated client money. The lawsuit claims that Girardi's transfers to EJ Global, which financed Jayne's music career and lavish lifestyle, were fraudulent. Jayne has addressed the scandal on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, expressing frustration over the legal battles and her estrangement from Girardi. She has maintained that she was unaware of his financial misconduct, but public opinion remains divided. X posts reveal a mix of sympathy for Jayne as a potential victim of Girardi's deceit and skepticism about her ignorance, given her access to their shared wealth. The scandal has had a profound cultural impact, amplified by Girardi's ties to The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Erin Brockovich. The juxtaposition of his Hollywood-inspired legal legacy and his reality TV persona has made the case a media sensation. News outlets like the Los Angeles Times, Reuters, and People magazine have extensively covered the trial and sentencing, highlighting the emotional testimonies of victims and the legal system's response. On X, users frequently reference the irony of Girardi's portrayal in Erin Brockovich as a hero for the downtrodden, contrasting it with his betrayal of similar clients. Others discuss the broader implications for reality television, noting how the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills has become a platform for dissecting the scandal, with Jayne's castmates and viewers debating her role. The case has also prompted scrutiny of the legal profession's oversight mechanisms. Girardi's ability to operate unchecked for years raises questions about the California State Bar's effectiveness in addressing complaints against high-profile attorneys. Former clients and legal experts have criticized the bar for failing to act on earlier warnings, some dating back to the 1990s, about Girardi's financial practices. His political influence, including donations to judicial and political campaigns, may have created a protective shield, delaying investigations. The scandal has spurred calls for reform, with advocates pushing for stricter regulations on attorney trust accounts and faster disciplinary processes. Victims of Girardi's fraud have been among the most vocal in seeking justice. Many were already grappling with profound loss, whether from physical injuries, the death of loved ones, or financial hardship, when Girardi's actions compounded their suffering. During the trial, victims shared stories of financial ruin, with some unable to afford medical care or basic living expenses due to missing settlement funds. A widow who lost her husband in the San Bruno explosion described her struggle to support her children without the promised settlement, while a burn victim recounted years of waiting for funds that never arrived. These testimonies underscored the human toll of Girardi's greed, transforming abstract financial crimes into personal tragedies. As Girardi prepares to serve his sentence, his story serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the fragility of public personas. Once celebrated for securing justice for the marginalized, he now faces the consequences of exploiting those he swore to protect. The legal proceedings against his associates, including Cayman and Finnerty, suggest that further accountability may follow. Jayne's civil lawsuit and her ongoing role on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills ensure that the scandal will remain in the public eye. Meanwhile, the victims continue to seek restitution, with some expressing hope that Girardi's conviction will bring closure, even as they face ongoing financial and emotional challenges. Girardi's legacy, once defined by courtroom victories and Hollywood acclaim, is now a cautionary tale of hubris and betrayal. His conviction highlights the legal system's capacity to hold even its most prominent figures accountable, but it also exposes gaps in oversight that allowed his scheme to persist. As the legal and cultural ramifications of his actions unfold, Girardi remains a disgraced figure, his story a stark reminder of how power, wealth, and prestige can mask profound ethical failures.